Welcome, and thank you for joining us today. We live in strange times, filled with conflicting information, which often leaves us confused about many decisions in life. The Bible and its teachings offer a reliable guide to help us navigate this confusion. One area where many people seek clarity is understanding tattoos, symbols, and outward adornments in the light of the biblical teachings. The Bible does mention tattoos, but it's important to understand the context. In Leviticus chapter 19 verse 28, it says, "You shall not make any cuts on your body for the dead or tattoo yourselves. I am the Lord." This was a specific instruction to the Israelites to distinguish them from pagan practices that involved body markings and rituals for the dead. Today, many Christians get tattoos as a form of personal expression or to display their faith through Christian art, and not as part of any pagan practice. Tattoos can be a way to authentically express one's character. For example, you might meet a well-dressed man in a business suit and let your guard down, only to be deceived by his outward appearance. The Bible warns us about this in 1 Samuel chapter 16, verse 7. The Lord does not look at the things people look at. People look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. This verse encourages us to see beyond outward appearances. While we are familiar with quotes and sayings that emphasize this idea, the true challenge lies in practicing it daily. Understanding something is not the same as putting it into practice. There's a common belief that having a tattoo or wearing a t-shirt with a skull opens the door to negative influences. However, focusing too much on outward appearances can be more misleading. God values authenticity, whether it's good or bad. Romans chapter 12, verse 1, encourages us to offer our bodies as a living sacrifice, holy and pleasing to God. This includes how we choose to express ourselves. The idea here is not to counter various verses, but rather to develop a true connection with the Lord, one that allows Him to provide us with clearer understanding and guidance for decisions. For every verse in the Bible, there exists another verse that can be used to counter it. This often leads to individuals adapting or interpreting the verse to suit themselves, a phenomenon often referred to as taking the wide gate. Topic we will discuss in further details in an upcoming video. Matthew chapter 7 verse 13 to 14. Rather than acting in a rubber stamp manner, we should remain faithful to the Lord and allow our inner conscience to guide us. Through prayer and meditation, we can cultivate unshakable faith, even when putting these principles into practice initially feels challenging. People often say they prefer authenticity, but this preference can be superficial. It usually means they want others to fit within what is acceptable to society or themselves. As Christians, we should challenge this way of thinking and look beyond outward appearances. 1 Peter chapter 3 verses 3 to 4 reminds us that true beauty comes from within, from a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight. We need to learn to see what's in a person's heart. You might find more genuine help from a bearded, leather-clad biker with tattoos than from a smooth-talking businessman in a suit. Matthew chapter 7 verse 16 says, "By their fruit you will recognize them. Do people pick grapes from thorn bushes or figs from thistles?" This verse teaches us to judge people by their actions and character, not their appearance. Today, many Christian women wear makeup and enjoy high fashion. This is not a problem at all. They are faithful, God-loving women. However, 1 Peter chapter 3 verse 3 to 4 says, "Your beauty should not come from outward adornment, such as elaborate hairstyles and the wearing of gold jewelry or fine clothes. Rather, it should be that of your inner self, unfading beauty of a gentle and quiet spirit, which is of great worth in God's sight." This verse emphasizes that while outward adornments like makeup and fashion are not prohibited, they should not be the defining characteristics of a person. Instead, inner beauty and a kind, caring soul should shine through. People should know you for your inner qualities, not just your outward appearance. The verse from Ecclesiastes chapter 8 verse 15. "So I commended pleasure, for there is nothing good for a man under the sun except to eat, drink, and be merry. This will stand by him in his toils throughout the days of his life, which God has given him under the sun." Rush to celebrate. Assuming that God has granted us carte blanche to indulge in all life's pleasures, let's take a closer look at this verse. So I commended pleasure. Here Solomon is recommending or endorsing the idea of finding enjoyment in life. For there is nothing good for a man under the sun. In this phrase, Solomon refers to life on earth and the idea that many things in life can be meaningless or fleeting, except to eat, drink, and be merry. Here, he suggests that enjoying the simple things in life is one of the few sources of true contentment. This will stand by him in his toils throughout the days of his life. This means that finding joy in simple pleasures helps people cope with the hardships and struggles they face, which God has given him under the sun. Here, he acknowledges that life and its experiences, both good and bad, are part of the divine plan. Everything you possess, whether it's resources to adorn yourself or other blessings, is bestowed upon you by the Lord. Therefore, it is always fitting to honor him. This verse emphasizes the importance of finding joy in life's simple, everyday moments. According to Solomon, this enjoyment is a gift from God that can make life's challenges and uncertainties more bearable. In other words, when life feels difficult or confusing, picking pleasure in small things can bring comfort and joy. This perspective might seem contradictory to other biblical teachings that warn against excessive worldly indulgence. However, it doesn't promote reckless pleasure-seeking. Instead, it encourages us to enjoy the blessings God provides while honoring him. The Bible teaches us to find joy and contentment in life's simple gifts while keeping our focus on God's eternal kingdom. By doing so, we avoid the pitfalls of excessive worldly desires and remain aligned with God's will. When you encounter someone heavily tattooed, with piercings or any other form of adornment, remember that their heart might differ significantly from their outward appearance. 1 Samuel chapter 16 verse 7 reminds us that God looks beyond the surface, urging us to do the same. Our world is paradoxical, a place where appearances often deceive. Trustworthiness may not always be evident, and unconventional individuals may harbor hearts of gold. Thankfully, the Bible provides guidance for navigating these complexities, leading us toward a more discerning and compassionate perspective. Proverbs chapter 3 verse 5 to 6 advises, "Trust in the Lord with all your heart, and lean not on your own understanding. In all your ways submit to him, and he will make your paths straight." This verse encourages us to rely on God's wisdom rather than our own perceptions, which can be flawed. Isaiah chapter 55 verse 8 to 9 reminds us, "For my thoughts are not your thoughts, neither are your ways my ways, declares the Lord. As the heavens are higher than the earth, so are my ways higher than your ways, and my thoughts than your thought." This teaches us that God's understanding surpasses ours, and we should seek his guidance in all things. In conclusion, whether it's tattoos, clothing with skulls, makeup, or fashion, the key is to focus on the heart and character of a person. In addition to our relationship with God, the Bible places great emphasis on our interactions with others. It's essential to remember its teachings on human relationships. Our interactions should be guided by love, kindness, and empathy. Rather than judging others based on their appearance, we should treat them as we want to be treated. Luke chapter 6 verse 31. Loving our neighbors and forgiving one another. Matthew chapter 7 verse 12 and chapter 18 verse 35 contribute to healthy relationships. Ultimately, it's the heart and character that matter most, not outward adornments. God seeks authenticity and looks beyond the surface, and so should we. The Bible provides wisdom to help us see beyond appearances and understand the true nature of people and situations. It's thought-provoking how often we worry about small things and miss the larger issues, truly erode Christian values. Further testament to the deceptive tactics of the devil. Please remember to like and subscribe to support the growth of our channel. By doing so, you help us spread God's message in a simple, practical way that is desperately needed in these chaotic and confusing times.